DJ Fatboy Slim has announced a free gig in his hometown of Brighton for anyone working in the emergency services to thank them for their incredible work during the coronavirus pandemic.
It's going to take place in October. Hopefully we'll all be all right by then. Fatboy Slim, Norman Cook joins us now from Brighton. A very good morning to you. You must be missing the love of the crowds, because I suppose this season is the DJ season, isn't it? You're coming up to summer, all the outdoor festivals and everything. And why did you then decide to do this in October?
Well, I mean, my job is mainly about escapism and frivolity, but also it's kind of the opposite of social distancing. You know, everything about my job is about people coming together in large, unhealthy clusters. So I'm kind of fairly redundant right now, but I did want to do something, and obviously escapism and frivolity is something that's kind of short on the ground, and so yeah, it just felt nice to do something to thank the key workers. I mean, it started, some friends of mine who work for the NHS said, would you do a little film just to cheer people up? And then I jokingly said at the end of it, and when this is all over, we should have a big party and dance together. And they kind of took me up on that.
And they're holding you to it as well.
Yeah.
Norman, what's going to be involved, and how can those emergency workers get tickets? Because I'd imagine, because as you've held gigs in Brighton in the past, and there's a lot of demand for people to come and hear you play in your hometown. How can people get involved?
Yeah, if you go on the Ticketmaster website at 7 p.m. this evening, it's on a first come first served basis, and everyone with an NHS card or who works in the blue light services can get one ticket plus one for their significant other. But it is, yeah, you have to be bang on 7 o'clock tonight, because it's first come first served.
There's going to be a rush, isn't there?
And listen, I mean, clearly the DJing skills are running in the family. We saw some lovely stuff, and tell us what's going on here. This is your lovely daughter Nelly.
Well, Camp Festival was going to be my daughter's first festival this year, which probably isn't going to happen. But we all needed some cheering up, and the Camp Festival people decided to put on a sort of a virtual festival over the Easter weekend. And Nelly's been learning how to DJ, so I thought rather than me standing there looking like a plum, why not get her to do it? Which she was absolutely ace at, and it just kind of caught everyone's imagination. I don't know. Again, it's sort of this thing of sort of frivolity, but it actually kind of does cheer people up. So Nelly, bless her, was an absolute star and cheered a lot of people up at the weekend.
I was watching it, Norman. My friend sent me a link straight away and said, you've got to watch this. It's going off. Camp Festival's happening in Norman Cook's kitchen. And we were watching it, and I had it on in the background, and I was showing my boys who are 13 and 14 who couldn't believe how cool she was. And then what was brilliant was all those moments that you kept Dad dancing in the back of shot, and she was trying to get you out of the shot. She was trying to keep in control.
Those of you who can lip read, we could probably see her saying, it's not all about you, Dad.
Oh, straight to the heart. Listen, it's interesting what you talk about there, about frivolity and lightness not being around very much. You know, I felt quite low the other day, you know, and I'm struggling to get myself back up in my mind. You know, everything's okay, my family's okay, but in your mind, it's still hard. Lots of people are hitting a bit of a mental brick wall, I think, because you've sort of got into this situation where we all accept it's going to be this way, and sort of all the little things you were trying to do to keep yourself going sort of now also feel a bit mundane. Where does music come into this? Because we've seen a few clips this morning of people singing and all that. Tell us, have you got any tips actually about how music can help alleviate
that mood,
actually?
Yeah.
Well, not any specific tips, I think. I think music is just always been a very powerful way of bringing a sense of community and a sense of togetherness, even though it's not physical togetherness. You can unite hearing, you know, loving a song or enjoying a song. You can feel in touch with the artist who made it or the other people who like it without actually physically being in the room with them. So I think music's always been very important to lift people's spirits or rally us together, and it's I suppose just as important right now. You know, I mean, what I think this country needs is a kind of an anthem like "We'll Meet Again" to lift us, to get us through this. It's music does have the power to kind of heal and change your mood. And it's, you know, it's the kind of tonics that we need in this day and age.
On a national rave.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
It was a little bit like,
in all our
Nelly
lounges.
did it on Saturday. We need some more of that. We need Nelly on the decks. Fat Girl Slim.
That's what we're attempting, yeah.
That's what we need.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
I was one of the things I was going to say was, how was the music for alleviating the mood when you were at school? Because I understand that you and Sir Keir Starmer, obviously he wasn't a sir when you were at school, used to have violin lessons together. Is this right, Norman?
Well, all I can say is I don't think his violin playing would alleviate the country right now.
I tell you what, though, it's interesting.
Or mine, for that matter.
No. And those initial lessons on the violin, my sister played the violin, can be quite excruciating for the family members that have to go through the practice, can't they?
I'd be honest, I'd actually completely forgotten that I briefly studied violin at school until Keir reminded me.
Is he going to come and play at your gig?
I raised that screeching noise from my mind.
Yeah, you should come and get him to come and play at your gig in October.
Well, strange. In this day and age, careful what you wish for. The strangest things happen.
I love the idea of that. Just with his violin by the side of the stage, just playing along with you, Norman. It's lovely to see you as ever. Thank you for joining us. Well done to Nelly on Saturday. We thoroughly enjoyed it in our house, and hopefully we'll see some more of that for the next few weeks. But like you say, just remind us again how people can get some tickets for your gig.
If you go on the Ticketmaster website at 7 p.m. this evening and be ready to prove that you're one of the key workers.
Amazing stuff. There's going to be high demand, so make sure you're stood by. Thanks so much for joining us, Norman. Really good to see you.
Thank you very much.
And we got through that without saying praise you like I should, which was his song, obviously.
Yeah, there's the applause.
Thanks for that. Thank you.
Yes, got it in there.
I think a lot of the lyrics.
It's a great song.
A lot of the lyrics to that song seem very
Yes.
pertinent
absolutely.
right now.